remember when I was growing up, I was obsessed with video games. And some of those video games, you're killing each other or you're killing entities, and they were saying back then, there's no relationship between video games and violence. And now we've seen more recently, we had a guest on who talked about the scoreboard in London where the gangs, it's like a fusion of gang culture and gaming culture, whereby you go into a different postcode, you stab someone up or kill them and you get points on your scoreboard. Do you think then that this old school video games and violence, there's no correlation? Do you think that's out the window now?
So I think it is very complicated. I think that for the vast majority of people, you're interested in violent video games, as was I. Street Fighter 2 was my poison back in the day.
Mortal Kombat.
The vast majority of people don't get influenced by violent video games, violent films, violent music, because we have parental boundaries. We are socialised, we're domesticated. But the difference would be if you come from a background where, for example, you have very inconsistent parenting, or you grow up in a gang where you have your moral boundaries are very loose and you're kind of encouraged to commit violence. I think in those specific situations, people are more vulnerable to being influenced by violence, I think.
And what about people who have certain diagnoses of mental disorders?
Absolutely, it's possible. So I think, again, speaking about psychotic disorders, so that's taking living outside of reality. So people who have delusional beliefs that are not true, it's very possible that the violent video games can play into some of their delusions. And I'm sure, it's a long time ago, but I'm sure I've seen at least one patient who was kind of who had delusional beliefs about a video game. Yeah.
I mean, if you're like just a reclusive living person and you're just obsessed with video games, slaughtering people all day long online, wasn't there like an attack? Was it on a mosque or something where the guy went in? It was almost video game style. He filmed himself killing all those people. Was it in France or somewhere like that? I remember watching it. I was thinking, oh my god, this is real. But he's reenacting he's acting like he's in a video game while he's killing all these people. I think the video was taken down, but it was this mass murder. I think it was in a mosque, and it was a famous case. So it makes you wonder, the desensitization. If you're just killing people online all day long, and then you've never actually seen a real life killing, but you go out with a high powered weapon and kill people, your brain must go in shock if you're killing someone. But perhaps if you've already been doing it online for years and years and years, it's become normalized to you.
Well, I think it's probably a combination of many things. As I was saying before, it's people who have not had proper parenting and who have not grown up with normal moral boundaries and restrictions are probably more vulnerable to that. And also, if they're suffering from either overt florid psychosis or borderline psychosis, they might not distinguish reality from fantasy. So I don't think the average person would be affected like that. But somebody who's vulnerable, absolutely, they could not fully understand what's real and what's not.